Yo, what's up everybody? I want to explain OpenAngel Arena to you. We made this game, and I think it's really cool, and I often show it, but I don't think I really ever explain it properly. So here we go. You want to click normal game, right? We have short games, we have long games, but the game is built around the normal game, obviously. So go ahead and select normal game if you want to just have the regular OpenAngel Arena experience. I give no promises on the other two. The other two are just modifications of the normal game. But anyway, this right here is our drafting screen. Now, it's still a work in progress as with everything, but we're gonna go ahead and pick Lena. Now, we're starting a bit earlier than I usually would with custom games, or any game for that matter, and that's because I want to talk a little bit about team composition. Now, OpenAngel Arena is a game where team composition does matter, and it is a very competitive game. You can get very good at this. If you play as a 5-man team, you can be completely overwhelming. Right, and a big part of that is figuring out a good team composition. Generally speaking, you're looking for a few things, right? You're looking for a hero that has high sustained damage output for killing bosses. You want a hero that is tanky, so you can tank some bosses, right? Preferably, you want somebody that has good, solid AoE that they can use to get ahead in the early game, since there are a lot of creep camps to farm. And then the other two are really flex picks. What people like to go for are, you know, for a support, right? Like a healing support. We have something called an aura support. Just generally a support, right? Ancient Apparition is very popular right now, very powerful. And then the last pick, you know, you can really fit anything you like. You know, most often you'll see another DPS, right? I feel like that's pretty much the standard lineup. Now, DPS, I want to make clear, you don't just have to go physical. Casting DPS is very much viable. Now, let me go and grab ourselves a null talisman. Now, welcome to OpenAngel Arena. This is what it looks like. Now, we're going to have a duel right away. There you see. A duel will start in 10 seconds. Before that duel, nothing is really going on, and there's really nothing to do. There are no creep camps that have spawned yet. There's nothing to do on the map. You just have time to buy some items, and then you're gonna go straight into the first fight. Now, this first fight doesn't determine a crazy amount. The kills aren't super valuable and all of that, but it's just kind of like to get people to engage a bit and, you know, just go and have a fight. It's fun. Who doesn't like a bit of a fight early on? So anyway. Now, in our duels are a little bit different in OpenAngel Arena than what you're used to from other Angel Arenas, I assume. First of all, we have something called the high ground. This right here, you see this red platform, this is the high ground. And this high ground objective activates after a little duration. Now, as long as you're on the high ground, this ticker goes up, and then you get benefits, right? You see I've got regeneration, now I've got haste, now I've got double damage, invisibility, and triple damage. And this, of course, makes me very powerful. Obviously, right? The idea is that this forces people to really like engage with each other and actually properly fight. And it works really well. You see what we did in that fight is we just chilled in the back, right? They let themselves get zoned out, and then we just captured the high ground and won that way. There's no running away. There's no long wait times. There's just a straight up fight over an objective. And that's kind of something that I'm pretty happy with. Not only are our duels based around an objective, but also in our duels, there's never any period of time where somebody doesn't get to play. What you will often see is that, well, you know, only 3 people are in this duel for each team, right? So it's 3 versus 3. So the other 4 players just have to wait for the duel to be over. We don't have that. Like, that's just not a thing in here. Instead, we have 2 duel arenas. And that means that if there's a 3-on-3 going on, simultaneously we have a 2-on-2 going on. And if there's a 4-on-4 going on, there's a simultaneous 1-on-1. In fact, soon we'll have additional duel arenas, but I want to not really like get hugely into like detail in terms of new things that are coming. I will briefly mention them, but I'm not going to elaborate on them too much because, like, frankly, that would be an entirely separate video, right? Wait, did somebody just roll -1 MMR? What the hell? Somebody just rolled -1 MMR on the MMR bot in chat. Alright, well, I guess you are officially the worst player. Like, what the fuck? How does that even happen? Alright. Anyway. Now, I put down a ward. Where did that word come from? Now, glyph is something that doesn't really serve a purpose in OAA, right? It just doesn't. It doesn't do anything because there are no towers, there are no buildings that you can glyph. So, what's glyph for? Well, nothing. In fact, glyph doesn't exist anymore. We completely replaced glyph. And we implemented custom wards and custom ward mechanics that are triggered by pushing the glyph button. So I have glyph on F1, right? Glyph of fortification on F1. So if I push F1, I poop out a ward. Like this one over here that now was destroyed, or this one, the Titan that just pooped out. Now every player has their own glyph button with its own cooldown, right? And they can always poop out these wards. Now, the thing about these wards is they are not regular wards. Right, they are not regular wards because they aren't truly invisible. Instead, these wards are detected if you walk into radius of them, right? So let's say my enemy is like spreading their wards everywhere and they have vision on the entire map. You don't have to get a gem to deal with that. Instead, you can just walk around the map and you will find them. As long as you get close enough to the ward, you will be able to find the ward and detect them. Talking about detection, this is going to be a little bit difficult to showcase just like this. So I'm just gonna tell it to you right now, and then, you know, like, hopefully we'll get to showcase it later. But scan has actually been replaced as well. Scan now reveals. It currently doesn't scan, it will in the future, right? That's just a little quirk with the new implementation. That's actually a recent feature. But scan no longer just does its scan thing, but it also gives you vision on invisible units. Which is pretty cool, right? So if you see somebody invisible hurrying around and being a little bitch, well, you don't have to worry about that too much. As long as you have scan online, you can put down a scan. Scan functions like a sentry ward, so as long as the enemies are in the radius, they will be revealed for, you know, the duration of the scan. And there you go. It's a way to deal with invisibility that doesn't require an inventory slot or an edible gem. I briefly mentioned new duel arenas earlier. And that's something that is coming in a very, very, like, soon. It's coming very soon, sorry. It's coming in a patch very soon. What is it? Well, these spots right here, you see this right here, this is empty. And this right here, this is also empty. These spots will be filled with additional duel arenas that are different from these two. Right? In fact, one of these will be replaced with a new design as well, and that means we'll have 4 different duel arenas, in one of which you are placed randomly, with all have an objective high ground situation, right? So you always play for the objective, the base mechanics stay the same, but the environment you play it in are different each time. I think that's really cool. I really look forward to it. Anyway, I'm gonna go and beat up this Visage. Now, so far we've just been kind of like playing here. We just died, it's not that big of a deal. And, you know, we're just farming up. That's all we're doing. Duel's coming up again. What is the main objective of this game? That might be something that's pretty important to know. Now, what you want to do is you want to get to 100 points. Up here you can see it in the kill score. We have 9 points, they have 4 points. Now, I say points deliberately because it's not just kills. You can get points in different ways. Currently, the only other way to get a point is to kill a boss. But hey, it's a different way to get to get points. So, you know, there are other ways to achieve the main objective. And in fact, the boss kills often take up at least like a fifth of the overall score. Sometimes more, sometimes less. Right. Anyway. This right here is the first boss. We're gonna get to that in just a second. The question is, will those arenas be active simultaneously? I'm not sure how you mean that. So the way the arenas will work, just to explain that a little bit further. There are 4 different duel arenas, all of which have, you know, like a different layout, different design, and, you know, you are placed in one randomly, right? So maybe one time you have 3 people fighting against against 3 people in this arena, then 2 people fighting against 2 here, or you have 2 people against 2 fighting here, and then 3 versus 3 here, or 3 versus 3 here, and 3 versus 3, 2 versus 2 here, or 4 versus 4 here, and 1 versus 1 here, right? Like, there's just going to be that randomness. You don't know exactly which arena you will end up in. Now, we just got our first boss kill. What do boss kills give us? Now, boss kills in Open Angel Arena work very differently from other Angel Arenas. They do not give you a random chance at an item that is on the floor and you have to hope that you know, get the right one. Instead, boss kills always give you the same stuff. Right now, for the very first boss kill in the game, you will get a special core. This is the farming core. The farming core can be used with boots and only with boots, and you only get a single farming core each game. You can use this farming core to buff your boots. So you can see right here, I can upgrade my face boots, I can upgrade my treads with this, I can upgrade my guardian grease or my mana boots, I can upgrade my TP boots, or I can upgrade my tranquils. We're going to upgrade our mana boots. This farming core, let me go and actually upgrade them again. We'll get to the other core in just a second, but I'm kind of wasting money by waiting. This farming core gives your boots a farming property. Something I didn't like about other Angel Arenas, something that always bothered me, is that you kind of had to waste 2 inventory slots because you needed to have boots, because there's really no good way around boots, right? And then you also needed a farming item, because like farming is just an important part of this genre, right? Like you just gotta farm, you gotta be able to hit some creeps. And it always bothered me because I'm like, well, great, so I really only have 4 inventory slots, that's kind of lame. Now, I didn't want to just remove the need for, you know, boots, because like boots are kind of an essential part of Dota. And there are a lot of interesting boots, but I decided to remove the need for an additional farming item by making the boots your farming item. So, what does that mean? Mana boots give you passive GPM. It's that simple, right? I have my mana boots, and I now just have passive gold income, right? Oops. And then you get murdered, right? But currently my mana boots give me 2400 additional gold per minute. Isn't that nice? It's that simple. If you go for power treads, you will get a cleave, like the Huskar has right here. You can see this cleave works for ranged heroes as well. Now, this cleave has a special property. It only works on creeps. You cannot cleave on heroes. If you hit a hero, it will not cleave, and the heroes are not affected by the cleave damage either, right? It's only on creeps. We have face boots, which have split shot, but yet again, only on creeps. And then we have some more interesting effects. So, TP boots, they may give you passive, creep assist gold. This means that when an ally kills creeps around you, you will get a percentage of the money your ally makes as money yourself. Again, passive creep assist gold. It's actually pretty interesting. Right, it kind of encourages you to hang out with your allies because you will benefit a lot from them farming. You don't actually benefit from farming yourself at all. You benefit more from them taking the creeps. So you just want to help them kill those creeps. And then we have Tranquil Boots. When you buy Tranquil Boots, they start gathering up charges as you move around the map. And let me go and just pick up an item really quick. Just a casual Octarine core, why not? Let me head over here. This right here is the farming cave. I'll explain it in a second. But the Tranquil Boots give you charges as you walk around the map. Once you have 100 charges, you can hit a creep to instantly kill it and get bonus gold from killing that creep. Similar to Hand of Midas, but much more money and much less experience. As in, it doesn't amplify experience at all, but it gives you a shit ton of money. Anyway, this right here is the farming cave. The way the farming cave works is it's these 3 rooms, and then at the end there's a little boss area. If you kill the 3 rooms, then you are given, then you're teleported out of the farming cave, and the farming cave resets. This is just a safe area to farm in. Your enemies can't really go there. It's very difficult to go there, and it makes it so that you really just have a spot where you're safe and you can just chill. Oh, nice, the triple stun. Oh, nice. The meteor just wrecking me. Alright, okay, but we're not gonna waste that for that. Oh, cool. We're actually super winning this. And nice. Got that too. Fucking suck. Alright, wrecking these guys. Oh! Poor Tidehunter. Farming Cave gives a lot of gold experience. It's very, very powerful to like do this a lot, but it's also difficult, as you can see, right? The Farming Cave is meant to only be cleared once every, I don't know, 8 minutes or so. Is really like the timing you're looking for there, because it does get quite difficult as you go through. Once you have cleared a room of the Farming Cave, you open up these doors, which allow you to access the map And, you know, you can kind of just walk around like this. Anyway, light strike array damage or health? I think I'm gonna go for the health, actually. I know it sounds a bit weird, but abilities do get quite powerful. Now, something you may have noticed is how we skill abilities. Now, this is something that, again, is a little bit special to Open Angel Arena, and we have custom code for all of this, and doesn't really exist in another game. But the way you level up your abilities is first, you level up everything like you're used to from regular Dota. In fact, leveling up until level 25 is the exact same thing as in regular Dota. So, let me go ahead and just buy some items really quick. Wanna get this. We wanna get this. Oh, actually, I can't get that yet. Actually, you know what? I don't really wanna buy that anyway. Let me get that. Let me get that. And we probably want some sort of like. Do we get aghanims? I'm kind of worried about it. All right. I'm not sure this is a good idea. This might end up being a little bit problematic. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. So anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, right. So I mentioned earlier that the farming cave is really, really difficult for the enemies to mess with. And that's because in OAA, fountain camping has basically been completely eliminated. There's no such thing as fountain camping. It does not exist. The reason for it is fairly straightforward. Every team has a base, right? So you can see this area here, anything in this high ground is considered to be their base. Now, if I walk in there, I will start having a little counter displayed on top of me, if they let me in there, which it doesn't seem like they will. Okay. Well, I gotta kill at least. Let me just buy... Let me just buy a Shadow Blade so I can show this off. I mean, I wouldn't usually get a Shadow Blade right here, and I'm gonna end up selling it, but I just want to show it off really quick. But if you're in the enemy territory, you have this counter on you. And the longer you stay there, the higher the counter goes. And after the counter passes 10, you start taking damage, right? So after you've been in the enemy territory for 10 seconds or longer, you start taking damage. And this damage amps up really, really quickly. So let me just show it to you. Alright, so we walk in here and you can see 1, 2, 3. This counter persists if I go into their cave, right? This right here is considered their side of the map as well. And now we're at 10. And now you can see my screen starts flashing red and I'm starting to take damage. And this damage is non-negotiable. Right, there's absolutely nothing anybody can do to prevent that damage. It goes through armor, it goes through magic resistance, BKB, it is percentage based, it's not even considered damage, you just lose HP, right? As a result, you can go into the enemy side of the map, you can chase them down, right? You can spend some time there too, right? You can be there for like 10 seconds or so. But past that point, it becomes very, very difficult for you to stay there at any stage of the game, simply because you just kind of die. And this makes it so that fountain camping is just not something we really have to worry about in this game. And that's just something that I think is really nice, right? And I'm sure you will appreciate it too. Just the fact that, no, even if you are behind, it doesn't mean you're just not going to get to play the game anymore. In fact, especially recently, we've been putting a lot of effort into making sure that snowballing isn't as out of control as you often see it. Right, snowballing in Open Angel Arena is actually very much kept in check. You can get ahead, and you can get very much more powerful than your opponents, but there are some nice, solid, inherent mechanics, and a lot of design went into the map to make sure that even when you are behind, you still have opportunities to come back. Cool. Alright, let's kill some bosses, okay? Now, we haven't done very much of this yet. We probably should have killed more than we have, right? But let's kill some bosses. It's time to kill some bosses. Let's head over here. Oh, I was talking about leveling abilities. I'm sorry. I keep getting sidetracked. There's just a lot to explain. I'm sorry. It's a very intricate game. So leveling abilities up to level 25, you level just regularly, right? As you would in regular Dota. However, past that point, it's a bit different. Nice. Just burst him down really quick. He's not very tanky. He didn't build tanky, so, you know, can't take any hits. That's how it goes, man. Nice, we got that. Past level 25, you get an ability point every 3 levels. So you get one on level 28, 31, 34. You can skill level 5 abilities up until level, you can skill level 5 abilities once you're level 28, and you can skill level 6 abilities once you're level 40. Yes, level 40, alright? So, usually the way it goes is at level 28, you skill one of these, level 31, you skill one of these again, level 44, you skill another one of these. At level 37, you can skill your your ultimate again, and then at level 40, you get this again, and then until level 49, then you get your max level ultimate. This way, not only do your items progress into the late game, but your skills progress into the late game too. So, this right here is another feature of Open Angel Arena. After you kill a boss, this little circle pops up. You need to capture the circle before you actually get the reward from the boss. This just makes it so that when you kill a boss, you know, something that we had happen a lot is that fights would break out around boss areas and with people fighting bosses and all of that shit. You may recognize this lady here. She's not very powerful right now. We got to buff her, but oh well. But fights would break out around boss pits, and then what would happen is people would simply wait for the last hit on the boss and snipe it that way. And personally, I didn't really like that. Not a big fan of a boss fight like that. And this is very significant. I'll explain to you why these bosses are really important in just a second. Being decided by getting the last hit, as opposed to winning the team fight. So now we have these capture points. Right, and they work exactly as you would expect, right? Like if you capture the point, like if you have heroes on the point, it will capture. If an enemy hero steps on top, the capture will stop. And if you then, you know, leave and the enemy starts capturing, and first has to go down your capture, then it goes up their capture again. If you have multiple heroes in the spot, it will capture faster, and all of that. This makes it so that winning a fight around a boss area is really the deciding factor. It's not about who gets the last hit, it's about who wins the fight. And I think that's pretty cool. Anyway, let's go and upgrade some items. Now, you may notice down here, all of these items have these weird little dots in the top right corner. This indicates what level the item is. Almost every single item in the game can be leveled up. You know, there's no just only Daedalus 5 and I don't know, like, you cannot only just upgrade Hard and Daedalus and fucking Butterfly. No, you want a Helm of the Dominator 5? Get a Helm of the Dominator 5. Shit's powerful. I'm not even joking. Helm of the Dominator 5 is scary. Right, you see up here, Helm of the Dominator 5 plus 70 into all the attributes, 45 attack speed. Shit goes crazy. Alright? You can get almost any item in the game into a late game state. And this is something I want to make absolutely clear at this point. A Helm of the Dominator 5, even though it is cheaper, and even a Magic Wand 5, right? Magic Wand is something that you wouldn't really consider to be like a super powerful late game item. But Magic Wand 5 gives you plus 19 to all attributes. And I promise you, Magic Wand 5 is just as powerful as a Hard 5, a Daedalus 5, or any of those other items. And that makes it so that you truly have the option of customizing your hero in any way you like. You can build any items you want. They all work. They're all good. Let's go ahead and upgrade some items. Now, these right here are upgrade cores, right? So we have upgrade core 1, upgrade core 2, upgrade core 3. You get them from bosses. I'll explain in a second how. But you can see, to upgrade our Kaya from level 1 to level 2, we need an upgrade core 1 and a recipe. So we're going to buy that. To upgrade our Kaya to level 3, we need an upgrade core 2. And now if we wanted to upgrade our Kaya into level 4, we could use an upgrade core 4. But instead what we're going to do is we're going to build this special little item right here, which is a custom item in Open Angel Arena. Yes, we have those too. And I really want to show it off. It is a very cool item. It is very exciting. And yeah. Anyway. While we're at it, we're gonna go ahead and upgrade our Heart. Now, something that's really important to keep in mind about these cores is a level 1 core can only be used to upgrade an item from level 1 to level 2, but higher level cores can always be used in place of their lower level counterparts. So if I, let's say, want to upgrade an item from level I want to upgrade an item from level 1 to level 2, and all I have is a level 3 core, you can do that. That works fine. You can upgrade an item from level 2 to level 3 as well. You can use a level 3 core in place of a level 1 and a level 2 core. just as well. And with a level 4 core, you can upgrade anything. A level 4 core will just do anything you want. Alright? Cool. Let me show you Moria's dagger. Or Dagger of Moria. We'll activate this. What this item does is, it gives us huge spell amp. You can see right now we've got 60% spell amplification. The problem with it is that we take the damage ourselves. Yeah, it kind of hurts a bit. So you want to build a really tanky Lina. I'm sure you've been wondering like why my Lina has got quite a bit in terms of like defensive things, right? But that's why, because I wanted to go for that Dagger of Moria. But I know how dangerous it is. It's really an item that can just kill you. It's super, super, super scary. And, you know, I wanted to avoid that. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and Laguna Blade this guy. Ooh, alright, we're still fine. Cool, we got this. There's the Ursa. And I think one more blast. Triple kill, easy victory. Nice. Alright, we did well there. We did well there. So, Dagger of Moria is a transformation item. We'll get into transformation items in a while. We'll talk about that later. But, you know, like, anyway. Actually, I guess we can talk about it now. Oh, shit. Yeah, I gotta turn this thing off. So, what are transformation items? Transformation items are something that we are currently implementing into the game. They're a special class of item. They're a special class of item. Because you can only have a single one of them active at any given point. Right? And that's what makes them special, and that's what makes them something you need to be kind of aware of. You can have multiple transformation items, but you can only ever have one active. Now, how does a transformation item work? You activate a transformation item and it's a toggle, right? So it's like Armlet, you activate it and you can turn it off at any time. They are actually very similar to Armlet in the way they work as well. They give you a very strong upside and a very strong downside. Which means that in this case, right, we gain huge spell amplification, but we also take the damage ourselves, which makes it very dangerous for us to use. That's how all transformation items work. They always give you a huge upside and then a big downside to go along with it. You always need to be able to properly re-evaluate that risk and when do you want to use this item and how do you want to go about it. Right, they are very interesting. We're currently in the process of implementing them. Right, we have a lot of designs ready, and you know, it's just something that we are currently working on. Now, on this note, I want to say, who is we? Right, so Open Angel Arena is called Open Angel Arena because it is open source. It is entirely open source. We are working off of GitHub. We have a lot of contributors, and we're always happy to have new contributors. In fact, I would very much recommend working on Open Angel Arena to you if, you know, like game design is something that interests you, or programming is something you're into. Because the good thing about working on this project is we have you know, very active developer Discord where we're hanging out, where we have experienced developers, not just for Dota 2 modding, but just for programming in general, giving advice and telling, you know, helping you out, giving you feedback. Anytime you make a pull request, right, anything you want to change for the game, anytime you're like, hey, I've got something ready, I would like to implement this, we're going to check it first, then give you feedback on how you can improve it. It's a very helpful environment, right? And if you're just learning programming, it is... Oops, I forgot. If you're just learning programming, it's a great way of doing that. It's a great way of helping you get started and get feedback. There are a lot of people that started working on Open Angel Arena just to kind of like get the hang of programming, and that are now really good at it, right? Because they managed to get a lot of practice. And, you know, it all comes down to practice after all. Practice and feedback. That's how you get good at something. Anyway. It doesn't look like a cave. Yeah, we need to rename it. It's just currently still called cave. But anyway, as I mentioned, these transformation items are currently being implemented. So we're still working on, like, you know, like there's a lot of items that like you can make. Honestly, it's not that crazy difficult to make an item. If you know some lure, right, you can easily just go ahead and do that. Anyway, we can upgrade some items. Now I'm gonna go ahead and showcase how I can use a higher level core to upgrade a lower level item. Right, so right here I have my Satanic. I'm going to buy a level 1 Satanic, and then I would need a level 1 upgrade core, but I don't have one. I only have 2 level 2s, but that's fine. because the game will just use the level 2 upgrade core instead. The game, by the way, when doing this, the game will be very careful to not fuck you over. Right, like we have very much considered that. The game will always use the lowest level upgrade core available for what you're looking for. So let's say you have a level 4 upgrade core in your inventory and a level 2 upgrade core, and you're looking to upgrade an item from level 1 to level 2, it will use the level 2 upgrade core instead of the level 4 upgrade core. The game is smart enough to figure that out. Ah, damn it, this is bad. This is bad. Okay, we've got some healing, but we're out of mana. Phantom Lancer. Dude, that is rude. Shit, let me grab this. Hey, when we're implementing this here on .m, would you like to use it in OEA as well? You got some great pictures. I'll take a look later. That's a lot of abilities. Holy shit. Oh, he's got like toggles between them. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. Although right now is kind of a bad moment. I'm sure you understand. Anyway. Which one? This one. Ah! Okay, we got him. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. We did some good damage there. Purge ourselves out of that. Okay, now we just need to kind of try and kill this guy. Now, by the way, transformations are not the only custom items in OpenAngel Arena. Here's another one. We've got the Satanic Core. Something I'm really proud of is that we have a really cool art department, right? Like you can see, we have custom icons for a lot of this stuff, right? And I think they're really cool. In fact, all of our icons are actually custom. So you can see as you upgrade items, they start looking cooler, right? So like a level 5 Solar Crest looks much better than a level 4 one, right? So if we go through like maybe Shiva's Guard, it starts to look notably different and notably more powerful. And it's something I'm actually really proud of. I think it's super, super cool that we got that. Anyway. We're just kind of trying to stay alive against these guys. Satanic Core helps a lot. It gives us a lot of spell lifesteal while it's active. Alright, let me upgrade this. Thank you. Alright. Where was I going with this? Bosses. Now, how do you get these famous upgrade cores? Right? Because we keep talking about upgrade cores. How do the bosses work? Because you may notice, we killed a spider in this spot earlier, but there is no spider here anymore. The spider is just not around. That's because after you kill a boss, that boss actually gets replaced by a more powerful boss. Now, in the beginning of the game, in these boss areas down here, we have a list of bosses that spawn, right? So it's going to be a tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. And the tier of the boss indicates what level upgrade core they drop. Right? Come on, man. It's kind of rude. I really appreciate your nonsense. By the way, bosses are very susceptible to magic. You may notice whenever I cast this thing, does 200 damage to him. Alright, like killing bosses through magic is a perfectly viable strategy. Ah, rude. Okay, so as I was saying though, right? So this right here is currently a tier 3 boss. Now we are working on better indication to tell you, you know, what bosses, what level, and all of that, and what upgrade core they're going to drop. And yes, that is something we definitely need to be better on, and it's definitely something I want to fix in the future. Fully agree, 100%. Right. Alright. Right now we gotta go ahead and kill this guy down. Now let me actually show you a little bit of a trick. This is just one of the funny mechanics in OA. When you kill a boss, when you're about to get an upgrade core, you can actually upgrade your items. You don't always have to go back to the base. I have been doing that to make it less confusing for people that are just learning while they're watching, right? But it's actually a little bit of a, you know, little trick in this game. So you can see I have upgrade core 2 here in my inventory. We're actually killing bosses all over the place right now. Ooh, I'm gonna try and kill this guy before he heals up too much. I don't actually have that much damage against him, sadly. This right here is the charger, by the way. You gotta get him to charge into one of these towers to kill him. Alright, so we can upgrade an item very, very far right now. So let's go and do exactly that. So I'm gonna buy all of these recipes. And you will notice, as soon as I get the core, boom, spends all of them, spends them perfectly in the order you would want to spend them, and we've got a level 5 Aghanim's. Isn't that cool? I think that's really cool, right? It's like, so you don't always have to go back to the base. Like, it's really important to keep that in mind. Let me go and grab this. Upgrade the dagger. And heal up a little bit. We're kind of running low on mana. We actually want to probably max out our Ethelons. So yeah, going for Dagger of Moria, right? This item is very powerful, but it comes with downsides. You gotta build tanky. You can see I have almost 10,000 HP on my Lina. That's a lot. Like this Death Prophet over here is sitting at a comfortable 3,000, right? So we have a lot of life because we built really, really tanky. And also, I don't have that much mana or utility. I'm just pure damage output. But that's the kind of thing that I think is really cool, you know, that you have this option of going for all of these different builds. And because really all items are viable in the late game, because every item upgrades into a really strong late game item, you can go for many, many different builds. Like, one of my favorite builds recently has actually been to just build, like, Helm of the Dominator, Magic Wand, Urn, and Vladimir's. Right? And you would be like, wait a second. Like, that doesn't seem that powerful, but it's actually really scary because, again, every item builds into a viable late game option. So you can actually go for these crazy builds, and they work just fine. Right. Would you survive a Laguna Blade with Moria and Satanic Core activated? Yes. You would survive that. You can't really die to the Moria Dagger while you've got a Satanic Core activated, because you just heal more than you take damage, and it happens in the same moment, which means that, you know, you just gain more HP. Anyway, let me head over here. Oh, there we go. Our abilities are quite powerful now, by the way, right? Like we heard. Another thing that I'm very proud of in this game mode is that casters are totally viable late game. Supports are totally viable late game. In fact, I think supports are some of the strongest heroes in this game. I want to Laguna Blade something. Thank you. Okay. I think supports are some of the strongest heroes in this game mode. They're actually absolutely terrifying. Again, right now, a hero that I almost consider to be something we need to nerf, and like maybe a bit too powerful and problematic, is actually Ancient Apparition. I know, out of everybody, you wouldn't expect it of Ancient Apparition, but Ancient Apparition is so good. So good. Alright. Let me go ahead and burn this guy out really quick. Again, this right here does over 2,000 damage. It's very powerful. I'm going to start building this. We also need to actually upgrade our Guardian Graves here. So you can see that purging the recipe ahead of time and then building your item this way is really the best way to do it. And that's basically how everybody does it, right? But you just gotta know that that's something you can do. It's something that started out as a bug. Like, we didn't intend on actually having that in the game at first, but, you know, it just ended up working out really nicely. Everybody liked it, and I'm like, sure, let's keep it. I don't see a reason to delete it. It's not harmful, right? It's not a problem. Alright, should play Moral Support or AA at some point. Moral Support in this one is very strong. Just because, you know, having all of those auras and just standing nearby is incredibly viable. Ah, God, that really hurts. Alright, what are we going for? What are we maxing out right now? I think we actually need to max out our boots. We need more money. We've actually managed to run out of money. So somewhat impressive. That's okay. That's not gonna kill us. Thank God. We got dangerously close, but we're fine. Alright, let's heal up. There's a guy here. Go and clear this one out as well. Now, bosses is something we are always working on, right? I would love it if every boss in the game was just like super interesting and cool, like the Charger. But sadly, I have to admit they currently aren't. But we're working on it, right? We're definitely working on it. And again, any help that you have, any help that you can give us, we'll gladly take. I think you now get the basic idea of the game mode and how to play it. Now, the thing about this game, it is very competitive. Team composition is super important because you gotta figure out like how to like properly kill the bosses, when to utilize, you know, rotations, how to farm the early camps, right? How do you win the duels, as well as being able to contest bosses. all of that is super, super, super important and actually difficult to properly figure out the exact lineup for. We have Captain's Mode as an option, right? Captain's Mode is fully playable. And there is a community... Oh, God, don't use that shit on creeps, Balmy. What the hell are you doing? Don't use the shit on creeps. Not a good idea, man. Not a good idea. That's what happens. It's not like it's a new thing that happens every time. Hey, it's a scary item. What can I say? Alright. Where was I going with this? I'm sure I was going so... Oh. Whoo! Alright. Dude, that's rude. Okay, we're just gonna spam in some of these. Because we currently have the benefit of having... What's it called? Having the Satanic Core active. Which is nice. Anyway. Where was I going with this? I don't know. I feel like we've managed to get to a point where I've largely explained the game to you, right? Again, there is a community for this. It's small, but we are growing, right? It's a very fun game. I'm very proud of it, and I would be very happy if you could give it a shot, right? It is highly competitive, so if you get in here, especially since the community is pretty small, you will probably go up against some people that will just fucking wreck you. And, you know, that can be a bit problematic, but keep in mind that everybody's always happy to help. Right? Everybody's always happy to help and like explain things and take you along. Alright. You guys want me to explain Aghanim's? Yeah, Aghanim's is one of the cooler additions in the game. I really like it. So the way Aghanim's works is as you upgrade Aghanim's, you actually gain access to additional talents. So right now I have Aghanim's at level 5, right? Which means I actually have every single one of my talent, including level 10, level 15, level 20, right? So this right here does, how much does it do, right? It just gives me a lot of additional attack speed, right? I have 175 additional attack range. You can see 670 plus 175. You know, I don't have a Dragon Lance or anything like that, right? It's just the fact that I have this Aghanim's giving me the talents. Now, sadly, there are 2 disconnects on the enemy team, which is kind of lame. It's kind of unfortunate, but there's really not too much you can do about it. But yeah, we sadly have some disconnects there. In that case, some people do have to break in the duel, even though that's something we want to avoid as much as possible. In these situations, it's sadly not really an option. Like, I don't know how else to avoid, you know, just overwhelming one team with more players. So, yeah. Are we going to add edible Aghanims? No, edible Aghanims is terrible design and it will never be added into the game. And yes, you guys got scamassed on the edible Aghanims. Live with it. If you think I'm gonna add edible Aghanims into this game, then really you scamassed yourself. Because you guys know that I very much dislike that. Edible Aghanims I don't think is good design because it just means everybody has Aghanims all the time. And it's just like, yay. Alright, I guess there's no downside to Aghanims now, so why not just give every single hero in the game like an Aghanims to begin with? It's just lame, I don't like it. Right. Our game isn't flawless, of course. There are many things I would like to fix about it. Right? Many things, actually, so many things. But, you know, implementation is just always the thing. Right? Implementation is the slow, steady thing. And I know, I said it many times today, but we're working on it. Design-wise, I actually know exactly what we want to do, but I don't really want to get into that right now. Explaining that will take quite a while because I have some big plans. I have some big plans. Alright, we're gonna max out our Ethelons. Ethelons gives 700 cast range, which is kind of a fun little thing, as you may notice. You know, it's kind of a little bit of fun. Just being able to shoot people from quite a while away. This dragon is pretty powerful. Yeah, creeps, you know, scale up and do become quite scary. Right. Does BKB block Blood Mage return damage? If it's magic, yeah. Totally does. Blood Mage returns the damage the way you deal it. So if you deal physical damage, then no, it won't. But if you deal magic damage, then yeah, totally. Absolutely. Alright, we're about to be maxed out here. We had 83 points, so we like actually kind of gonna want to force some kills. Right? If we can find them. Gotta be more active with our poop boards here. Always gotta poop out some more wards. Yeah, Kaya does stack with Moria. They're two separate items, why wouldn't they stack? Oh, there's a guy there. I don't know if I can get the Ursa. I kind of regret everything. Oh, no, 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 no. I need to get away from this. Got him. Oh, I didn't. My Laguna Blade didn't even do damage there. Feels bad, man. Oh, he's got the Divine Rapier. Alright, so this is something we probably need to address, by the way. There's a little bit of a Divine Rapier meta game going on right now, where people just kind of buy Divine Rapier towards the end. Like a lot of Divine Rapiers. Divine Rapier is very expensive, but it also gives you easily the most damage in the game. Divine Rapier is 2500 damage, and it takes a level 4 and a level 3 core. In most cases, that's just 2 level 4 cores to build. And turns out 2500 damage is quite a lot though. And you can actually do some serious damage with that. So yeah. Especially at this stage of the game, people don't really have anything to do with cores anymore. And again, that's something I want to fix. Gotta figure it out. Right? It just takes a lot of time. A lot of work. Edible healing self. Okay. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna make fun of you guys right now. I'm gonna like sincerely explain to you why I don't like edible items in general. Right? Like, here's the problem I see. If you have an edible Aghanim's, right? At a certain point in the game, money and resources in general, they just become useless. This is true for Dota in general. This has nothing to do with the game mode. This exists in regular Dota as well. If the game goes long enough, then resources become worthless. Right? Everybody has infinite money. Everybody has a fully maxed out item set with 7 fucking moon shards. Right? Everybody has their own courier with a Necrobook and Dagon on it. Because eventually, resources become useless. The problem is that in a game mode like this, is that that happens inherently a lot faster. Right? It just happens a lot faster. Now, an edible Aghanim's is something where you reach that point, and all of a sudden, everybody has an Aghanim's. Right? Everybody has a moonshot. Everybody has all of these items that you can't just put into your hero without a downside. Now, Aghanim's, design-wise, always has Aghanim's always has to have the downside of actually having to have an Aghanim's. Right? Because Aghanim's isn't actually that good of an item. Like, the stats on it aren't that great. But what Aghanim's does have is the effect. That's what it's about. It's about the effect. Oh yeah, you screwed that up. Aw, damn it. I needed to activate my lifesteal. Aghanim's has the effect. So by making it so that everybody gets, you know, like, access to Aghanim's, you're really taking away the entire design principle behind the item and just ignoring it. Like, you're just deleting the basic idea, the basic concept, which is lose stats, lose worthwhile inventory space for a very powerful effect on your hero. And I just don't like that. I think that's really, really, really lame. There's also the question, why stop at edible Aghanim's? Why not have an edible Lotus Orb? Or an edible Lincoln Sphere? Or an edible Heart? Why not make every single item edible? I'm confident that the only reason why people want edible Aghanim's, as opposed to any... I haven't seen anybody ask for an edible Daedalus or an edible MKB. And the reason for that is that everybody recognizes that those are obviously terrible designs. But they are so used off to the idea of having an edible aghanims in Angela Arena, because that's something that the other Angela Arenas kind of do have, that actually, admittedly, Blackstar doesn't have it anymore. Blackstar removed it, which I think is the right move, because it's a dumb item, right? But they are used to the idea of aghanims being the edible item, and that's why they want it. I just don't agree with that. So yeah. It's just my thinking though. Explain the... What's it called? Explain the reflex cores. So I'm not going to explain reflex cores because reflex cores are about to be deleted from the game. I don't really see a reason to explain this. In case you're wondering, down here there's a reflex core. If you noticed it, then don't worry about it. It's really something that's going to get taken out of the game very soon. Alright, it's an old design that a pull request already exists for to remove it out of the game, right? Like, it's basically already deleted, so just don't worry about it. Alright. Let's go. Last fight of the game. Now, this is another thing that we have in Open Angel Arena. There's a final duel. After you reach 100 points, you don't just immediately win, because that kind of makes it so that you can never come back. In Open Angel Arena, instead, there's a final duel. If you win the final duel, like we are currently doing, then you win. If, however, you lose the final duel, then you don't win. And instead, the game continues, and the game now goes to 110. Right? So whichever team then gets to 110 first triggers another final duel. If they then win the final duel, they end up winning. Or if they don't, then the game goes to 120. And it just keeps going into overtime like that. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. I would be very happy if you gave the game a try. We're working very hard on it. I think it's a lot of fun to play. And I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.